Hi, this is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and ascension and guiding you through the healing of the mind, body, and soul. Today I want to talk about prayer, okay? Who do we pray to now is what I should title this. First, before I get into this subject, I want to thank my subscribers. And if you're new to this channel, please hit subscribe and the bell button below will notify you every time I release a new video. Now, when it comes to prayer, I had a question from Facebook. One of my subscribers wanted to know, I've had an awakening out of religion, and I was in Christianity. I prayed to God and Jesus, and I'm a little confused now. Who am I supposed to pray to? Do I pray to the universe? Or do I pray? And so what I want to do is I want to talk about that question because it's a big deal. Prayer is like the foundation of religion, and prayer, is also something that I identify with because I too was a Christian, and we prayed to Jesus and God sometimes, and I never was really clear onto why we prayed to Jesus and God and what was the difference, but big deal. I don't think anybody is really extra clear about that kind of stuff. So when I first had my awakening, when you first have your awakening, first of all, before I even get into this subject, okay, do what feels right to you. Do what you resonate with, okay? Awakening doesn't mean you have to turn your back on your faith, your religion, or whatever, but do it if you feel that this is not enough for me, I don't want to do this, then trust your heart. Trust your inner guidance. Let me tell you, this right here will never lie to you. And let me tell you something. If you can't trust yourself, then you can't trust anybody else. Okay, so that's like the main thing right there. Do what's right and do what's right. And as a fact, when I say everything on my channel that I talk about, please go with what you resonate. Because in the beginning, I didn't resonate with half of this stuff. And slowly, little by little, my soul started to call me to resonate to certain things. Okay, now let's go back to that. So it was tough for me, and I was still praying to Jesus sometimes, and I started like praying and talking out loud. And I remember one time I heard, I like that you're talking to me, and I'm like, oh, did Jesus talk to me? But then it came to a point where I started to really awaken my consciousness about things, and I'm like, oh, okay, who do I pray to now? And so one thing so here's something that I learned about prayer, okay? So prayer, do you understand? Okay, so praying for something, and now we're going to go into the law of attraction and manifestation, because you know what? That is an important part of ascension and awakening. Because learning the law of attraction and manifestation doesn't apply to just asking for a house and a car. It's about matching vibrations. Let's just say you want to be in a happy mood. You can do law of attraction and match the vibration of being in a good mood. And if you're in a bad mood, you have matched a vibration of negativity, and now you're in a bad mood. Now, let's look at prayer as far as matching vibrations. Usually when people pray, they pray to ask for something that they don't have, okay? Now, a prayer, that's an affirmation. You're saying you don't have it. So a lot of times when families are praying, and I have a very good example. When I was in church, I had a foster mother. Now, my church, we're big on healing, and we had a few healings, and I just believed that they would heal anybody. And my foster mother fell ill. She had a heart attack or a stroke, and she was in the hospital on life support, and I was thinking, she's gonna be fine, she's gonna be fine, and we're all praying, please, her kid, her birth, her biological children, and everybody was crying, praying, please. So let me tell you something. This is why when people wait, hold up, Storm. Oh crap. Sorry. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I am so sorry for that. This is just something I have to kind of deal with right now. Just have my kid around. This is how I can get videos out. So, okay. So we were in the hospital and everybody was crying. So, okay, number one, this is what they did. Remember I told you about the Universal Restaurant? Okay, you go to the Universal Restaurant. You place your order. You can have it your way. Whatever you desire, you can have. The waiter takes your order to the universe. But the waiter is not just taking what you physically say, it's taking what you physically feel. So if your vibration is vibrating at lack, a lower negative vibration, you're sending that message that you don't want that thing, that you want to align with something to come to you that's negative. But if you're at a high vibration and you're believing it and you're living as if you have the thing that you desire, then you are matching the high vibration for you to get exactly that. So what is going on here is when people are in, or a family member is on the deathbed or sick bed, and they're looking for a healing, and everybody's praying and crying. Not only you have one person praying and scared to see their loved one dead, but you may have 20, okay? So now you're sending out a collective vibration of, we're about to lose her. Oh, we don't want to lose her, we don't want to die, we can't live without her. All that negative energy, you have matched that vibration. So therefore, your prayer is acting as an affirmation of lack. I don't have this thing that I'm asking for, okay? It's one thing to pray and just be like, oh, I'm thankful for this and I'm thankful for that. But when you start to pray for something, see, and don't get me wrong, people, when they go to pray, they're going because things are bad, because they are in desperate need for something. And that's kind of how, you got to understand, that's kind of how, you know, a lot of times with prayer works. And also with prayer, I was thinking about, there's no more of this storm. Hold on. Again, I'm sorry. At least we don't hear airplanes anymore. Okay. What I was going to say, you're welcome, honey. What I was going to say is, it's better to meditate on something that you desire. It's better to start meditating and like just putting that affirmation out to the universe and using your manifestation process. This is just my suggestion. I reckon, by golly, if you want to pray, go ahead. Zen Mommy is not stopping you from doing anything. I'm just letting you know the facts. Okay. I remember once, and this happened to me actually, when the doctor told me that I was going to, there's something wrong, I might be losing my baby. The first thing I did is I prayed and prayed and I cried, please save my baby, please save my baby. And I lost the baby. And don't get me wrong, I ended up getting Storm a few months later. So, you know, it had its reason why. I had my reason I had to go through this, but I do remember that I prayed so hard, but I was so sad. And so you have to understand that now learning this, awakening and learning this game of law of attraction is not really a game, it's our life. Everything that we go through is a matching of vibrations. When you're having a bad day, you're matching that vibration. This whole toxic roommate that went crazy on me in Florida, guess what? I matched that vibration. And, you know, that's one thing that, like, I was a little disappointed in myself. How did I get that low? But let me tell you, I did get that low because I started to worry. I started to feel trapped. I started to get in just by a little bit of worrying. I just started to match the negative vibrations. Okay, but this is about praying, so let me not get into that. So that's my suggestion. That's what I wanted to say about prayer. Follow your heart into to who you pray to. Okay. Also, you can, you know, maybe shift it if you're like totally like, okay, I was in this religion that had this certain God. So what you want to do is, now that you're awakened, you want to internalize God. Like if you're in Christianity and you still, you know, want to pray to Christ, it's nothing wrong with internalizing Christ. Instead of looking at it as an outside entity, you have to understand no one outside is controlling you. Okay, you're the creator of your reality. And if you want to put the God force within you and pray and worship it from inwards, okay, that's how I'm gonna suggest to do it. Now, if you feel like, for me personally, I don't get on my knees and pray anymore. Okay, so I have conversations with my higher self. And I put out manifestation, like if I have a list of things that I desire, I'll try to manifest them. But I don't sit on my knees and beg for something to happen when I know that that might be putting out a negative vibration. And that's basically how I wanted to, you know, to put that out there. I wanted to talk about that because when you first have your awakening, it can be kind of confusing. A lot of things are, especially if you're awakening out of religion. You know, it's so different. But one thing you'll see, you know, awakening doesn't contradict religion. You actually, when you become conscious, you actually see how all religions are true. All religions have truth to it, and everything is like, I used to think that at the beginning of my awakening, it's all a puzzle. Every piece is a puzzle, and even a lot of the stuff that they talk about, like in the Bible. Now, the Bible, the scriptures, you know, oneness was edited out of the scriptures, but there's a lot of things that it talk about that you could see, you know, like when you say matching a vibration, it'll say, the Bible says something like, oh, you reap what you sow, you know, so what goes around comes around, you know, that kind of thing. And so I'm going to end this now because my son is about to walk up again. You want more? Okay, say bye. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.